got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. You lucky on that day I was acting cool, cuz.
Hey.
Nigga, what's up? How gangster are you, cuz?
Hey.
I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me.
Woo.
I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me.
I go hard, cuz. Hey, you guys. I hope you guys are doing good. Today is the last day of 2024. 2025 is right around the corner, so happy early new year to everybody. I didn't think I was going to go live, but I might still step out. But I was like, I want to go live real quick just to, chop it up with y'all and everything else. It has been so much going on. 2024, I can't believe how fast it's gone. Let me see. Okay, I see y'all in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I didn't know if anybody was going to be out to come up in here. I'm like, everybody's probably out and about, but it looks like we still have a good amount of people up in here. So I hope you guys are doing good. Around this time last year, New Year's, I was having my New Year's party and so many people came up here to the Twin Cities. So I'm just like, dang, I really wish I'd have threw another party this year. But you guys now are supposed to have surgery, so I thought I wouldn't be able to. So I'm going to have to do that another year. But last year was lit. We had such a good time for New Year's last year. So I plan on having a decent time this year as well. But last year was definitely lit. Shout out to everybody who came to the Twin Cities a year ago for New Year's. 2024, man. I think for me personally, 2024 was a good year. Like I definitely enjoyed this year. There were, a few ups and downs, but my name is not Diddy or Jay-Z. So I think as long as you're not either one of them two, you're good. I hit 1 million subscribers this year, so that was a blessing. Went to Puerto Rico for the first time, ever with the Tea Sippers. So that was dope. Went out there for my birthday. We had the Millie party. Shout out to everybody who came to Nashville. If you have not seen the Millie video, that's up. I posted that around Christmas. Thank you to everybody who left comments and, who shared the video. We had such a good time. So I think this year for me was super dope. Now, as far as everything else that went on in 2024, I want to say that it started off with a bang because of Cat Williams. I think Cat Williams' Club Shay Shay interview, that kind of set the precedence for what was to come in 2024. Him talking about Diddy and TD Jakes and everything else. So it was a lot. It was just a lot that went on this year. So what are some of the things that you guys, that surprised you in 2024? Some of the things that you guys liked, didn't like. We had a lot of crazy weather as well. Lots of hurricanes. It's hard to try and wrap up the entire year because it's so many things happen. Every single month, it was something new. Every single month. Yes, Cat Williams definitely set it off. He did. He really did. I'm so glad. Yeah, everybody's just, hanging in there. The economy is, it's been up and down. There's been a lot of layoffs. I think it's going to be a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, though, in 2025. I think 2024 kind of set the stage for a lot of things. You have Diddy's trial that's going to be coming up in 2025. A lot of things like that. But I also think as far as businesses, I think celebrity culture, influencer culture really died in 2024. I think people are over it. I think people are over the constant consumerism and being told to constantly buy. I saw a lot of people kind of turning against that in 2024. I forgot which celebrity that was, they came out and said, let them have cake. And people started unfollowing major celebrities in mass droves. So I think that was one of the things that was very interesting in 2024. You can see that the pendulum has shifted. A lot of these celebrities, they're not getting the views they were getting. People aren't checking for their YouTube channels, their podcasts, their music ain't, selling like it was. So I think at this point, people are having to revamp their strategy. Another thing that I feel started off in 2024 that's going to go into 2025 is that a lot of these big businesses, these big conglomerates like Amazon SD, and I'm gonna do separate videos on that because we've been talking about this on Discord. I think they're going to lose a lot of people come 2025, especially with a lot of the strikes that are happening with the Amazon workers. People are now demanding, not even asking, they are demanding for their fair piece of the pie. People are tired of the games. People are tired of like working like slaves, and they're not being compensated. And yet these CEOs are walking away with billions of dollars in revenue, you know? So I think it's going to be a lot of stuff. Somebody said the earthquakes. Yes, there was a lot of earthquakes in 2024. Definitely. Do y'all think TikTok is going to be banned? I don't know what's going to happen with TikTok in 2025. I don't think they necessarily want to ban it. I think they want to keep TikTok, right? Because that is a big data mining tool. Data is the new gold right now on social media. Your email, your contacts, all of that information is gold for advertisers. So they don't necessarily want to get rid of TikTok. They want to be the ones who control it. And China's not trying to have it. I hope they don't ban it because TikTok, I enjoy it. There's certain echo chambers in TikTok that I enjoy being in. And a lot of information gets filtered out to the rest of the public via TikTok. Think about the video that I did yesterday about the fog. If it wasn't for people on TikTok and online having conversations about it, we would have just thought, oh, it's just foggy in our own individual states, in our own individual cities. But because of TikTok, people are able to be like, well, dang, there's a lot of fog out here in Minneapolis. What does your city look like? Oh, there's a lot of fog out here in Cali. There's a bunch of fog out here in Seattle. I'm not feeling too good. I'm under the weather. And because of those communications and because people are able to, trade notes, have real conversation in real time, I think that that's part of the reason as to also why they want to ban TikTok. Because the mainstream media jumped on the whole fog situation after the fact. And even what they were saying wasn't even making sense. They had all these excuses as to why this fog was everywhere, why planes were being landed. And they weren't even talking about people like getting sick from the fog and not feeling good and the smells that were attached to the fog. So they weren't even reporting it correctly like the people who were on the ground reporting it. Yeah. So I think, it's going to be a lot of change, especially with the upcoming year. I think it's going to be a lot of things coming down the pipeline. I really do. Let's see here. AG says Amazon is doing the most right now. They are. They are. And I'm official. I haven't made the announcement to YouTube. I have posted on my community feed and on Discord, but I am leaving. I am taking my teas off of Amazon. I am leaving Amazon in 2025, and I'm also shutting down my Amazon Prime account. I am canceling a majority of these subscriptions. I feel like I've gotten so, used to just paying for these subscriptions. Half of them I don't use, I don't watch. I did like my Amazon Prime subscription, but it doesn't make sense to keep it. You go on to Amazon Prime to watch a movie. Half the movies you can't watch. You got to sign up for another subscription. They don't ship anything within 24 to 48 hours anymore. You're lucky if you get stuff within 3 to 4 days, which I'm fine with, right? If that means that drivers don't have to piss in bottles and stress themselves out, I'm fine with waiting an extra day or two for a package. But then when I'm finding out that that money's not trickling down to them, but you're still charging us the same amount of money, even though we're not getting the same amount of convenience that we got initially when Prime started, I'm leaving. I'm out. And I'm taking my teas with me. And I'm going to break down all the mess that's been going on the Amazon seller side. When I get some time, I'm going to break all that stuff down. But they are cheating a lot of people. And at this point, if you're not paying for their advertisement, if you're not paying for their sponsored post, they're not going to push you through their algorithm. Amazon has become one big thing. Like, it's just become a space for them to basically make money off of advertising other people's products. And if you don't want to advertise with them to push your products to be seen by the public, then at that point, you're their competition. And they're going to make products that you sell, but they're going to make their Amazon version. The rabbit hole goes deep with Amazon. It really does. Let me see if we got some super chats coming in. Let's see here. Jabatha X says, I appreciate you talking about the mayor of Dalton. Oh, yeah, she was a trip. Thank you so much for the super chat, love. Um, Shelly J says, it's God's side and the other side. And we don't give a damn about the other side. I know that's right. That quote will live in my mind rent free, I swear. Cat Williams, he said a lot of quotable stuff during that Club Shay Shay interview. Also, Fat Phase on Liar, that that lives in my head rent free as well. So, Cat Williams' interview definitely set the tone. Let's see here. Andy Lopez and 499 says, I think a lot of people this year have really started to wake up to all the crap that's going on, and it's beautiful to see. It really is. You know, even when you think about it on social media 2-3 years ago, people who thought outside the box, we were coined crazy conspiracy theorists. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're insane, you're crazy, your arms are always reaching. But now, all this stuff that we've been talking about for the past 3-4 years have been coming to pass. So now the conspiracy theorists, we don't look so crazy now, do we? And it is good to see a lot of people waking up. And I think, too, people are having more real, nuanced conversations. We don't care what the Kardashians are doing. Like, nobody's really trying to keep up with them outside of maybe, like, kids in junior high. People are not keeping up with them anymore. Nobody cares. You know, it's like people are dealing with, like, real stuff. They're dealing with layoffs. Rent is at an all-time high. Corporations are buying houses, so it's getting harder and harder to own your own home. People are worried about grocery prices. We don't give a damn about celebrities and their antics on social media. I mean, I've even been noticing, like, a lot of the blogs right now, I mean, outside of the Shade Room, people are not even really posting about celebrity news day to day. You're starting to see, like, more real world topics being posted about. So I'm definitely liking the change. Andy, I definitely agree. Let's see here. Lauren L says, without a doubt, Risa Tisa in the who the F did I marry TikTok series. Yeah, that was crazy. Are they supposed to turn that into some type of movie? Because I know she had gotten like a book deal or something like that. I wonder if they're going to end up turning that into a movie. Let's see here. Camille B sent $49.99, says, love you for life, sis. Thank you so much, Camille. I appreciate you, sis. It was good seeing you at the Millie party. We definitely had a ball out there, and we're going to do it again soon. So thank you. Let's see here. Marcus sent $200. Wow, thank you so much, Marcus. He says, Happy New Year's. I don't know what wavelength you're on, but you're always in sync. Thank you for the time always. You are so welcome, and thank you so much for the support. It means a lot to me, so thank you. Let's see here. Oh, my God. He also gifted 50 Lovely Tea memberships. Thank you so much. So if you guys are not a member and y'all want to watch my deep dives, thank Marcus in the chat. He just gifted 50 memberships. I really appreciate you, Marcus. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. Let me see here. Bernard Nation says Kendrick and Drake beef was entertaining. It was. I think the Kendrick and Drake beef definitely had everybody in a chokehold. That was one of the funnest moments for me in hip hop. I think it brought back real lyricism. And I think it also forced a lot of these rappers and entertainers to understand that lyricism is not dead. And people are over like the same cookie cutter pop nonsense. You know, I just enjoyed it. Not like us watching all the tea sippers rock out to that during the Millie party was so dope. You know, so I just feel like that beef, it breathed life into hip hop again. And it also exposed a lot of haters in hip hop. It exposed how like a lot of these so-called OGs who claim that they like lyricism and, you know, make hip hop great again, they don't really want to make it great again. You know, they just want to shine again. It's not that they're trying to make it great for the next generation, because the way they was hating on Kendrick, it made no sense. The people definitely supported Kendrick, but I was really shocked with how the industry kept throwing shade at him. And most people in the industry were honestly siding with Drake, which says a lot about the industry. So again, it's going to be interesting to see if Drake's lawsuit with, again, Spotify and UMG and Kendrick, well, not really Kendrick, but, UMG, is going to be interesting to see if it goes anywhere. And I think, at this point, he's setting a precedence with this lawsuit, because if he can sue somebody for lyrics in a song, then at that point, it's going to be fair game. And nobody's really going to want to compete anymore or say certain things in rap because they're going to be scared that they can be sued. So he's whack. I think in a moment, y'all are going to see Drake basically moving over the country. He's going to do a Post Malone. He's going to do a Jelly Roll. Go from being a rapper to being a country artist. I'm calling it first. Shout out to everybody joining the membership. Let's see here. Now, have y'all seen all of the drama that's going on with MAGA and Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy? So there's a bunch of beef going on with them. It's been very interesting watching that play out. And I'm going to say this. Y'all know I don't care who people vote for. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Kamala supporter. That's y'all's business. I don't care. I don't get involved in politics one way or another. But I do feel like there's two types of Trump voters, right? You have the people who felt like, you know what? I've been going through a lot. The economy's bad. Old man Joe, messed up the country. So I'm going to vote for Trump, this one time, or, I just want to see something better, right? So you had the people who literally left the Democratic Party and decided to, take a chance on Trump. So, cool. That's your right. But then you have the cult members, the MAGA people, the ones who have literally turned it into like a cult. And that's why I said I can't get behind either party. I don't like just like the sheep mentality, if you don't think like them and move like them, it's a wrap. So what's very interesting with what's going on is that I think basically Vivek is getting his Indian wake-up call. And I think him and even Elon, they're starting to understand that. I think Vivek thought that if he talked a certain way, was very articulate and, moved a certain way, and that he could be a model minority, that he would be, just accepted with open arms, no real criticism. But them talking about these visas pissed off the entire MAGA group. And you really saw the racism come out. Like some of the memes that I saw, the things that people were saying about him was crazy. So it just goes to show you there's no such thing as you being a model minority if you say something to piss off that group. So let me go ahead. I'm going to play this video here. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I have it set up. Give me just a second here. Okay, let me pull it up here. I thought I had it up already. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're gonna watch this really quick here. I believe this is the video. Yep, the division. So it's getting real out here.
Well, a rift is growing in President-elect Donald Trump's inner circle after he expressed his support for H-1B visas, which are given to immigrant tech workers. Aaron Gilchrist shows us how this division could impact his biggest supporters.
Tonight, an immigration cyber battle brewing among supporters of President-elect Donald Trump. Far-right activist Laura Loomer taking to X to slam Trump's new artificial intelligence advisor, Sriram Krishnan, for his past support of easing restrictions on skilled foreign workers coming to the U.S. Loomer launching a series of posts such as, "Our country was built by white Europeans, actually, not third-world invaders from India." Other MAGA figures like Steve Bannon joining in.
I mean, listen to how racist that was. Built by white Europeans. Well, what about, I could have swore there was black people here that y'all brought here from Africa and made them slaves. Like, are you serious right now?
It's about taking American jobs and bringing over essentially what become indentured servants at lower wages.
The controversy is over H-1B visas, a program that lets foreigners with highly coveted tech skills work in the U.S. for up to 6 years. A program applauded and defended by some of Mr. Trump's closest advisors, including Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and others in the tech industry, which is heavily reliant on foreign skilled workers. Musk responding to the online barrage by saying, if you want your team to win the championship, you need to recruit top talent wherever they may be.
I think this is sort of a pregame, a sign of things to come. These tensions between the sort of what you could call the populist nationalist wing of the Republican Party and the new tech elite.
While Trump has promised a hard line on illegal immigration and mass deportation, many in the tech industry are pushing him to expand legal immigration for high-skilled workers, an idea he's hinted he's open to for foreign students.
Somebody graduates at the top of the class, they can't even make a deal with a company because they don't think they're going to be able to stay in the country. That is going to end on day one.
At some point, something's got to give. They got to decide what is the orientation of immigration policy. Is it going to focus on attracting the best talent to the country, or a more protectionist model where we put up fences?
Aaron Gilchrist, NBC News, Washington.
All right. So let me go ahead and come back on here. So it's getting real out here. And hold on. So it's getting real right now. Like I said, they're fighting, they're into it. You know, my opinion is this. I just feel like at the end of the day, you know, I get what they're saying, like as far as like bringing in skilled workers, because like he made some good points in his post, right? When he was talking about American culture. Matter of fact, let me see. I have his post up here. He went on this whole rant about American culture that pissed a lot of people off. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read some of it. It's pretty long. So he says the reason top companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an inanimate American IQ deficiency, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympian, or the jock over the valedictorian, will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World, or Zach and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. Fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids could watch those shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity. And their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates. Okay? So he goes on to say a bit more. And of course, a lot of people were like really pissed off. And they were saying, you know, he's basically disrespecting American culture. That's not right. But I don't think there was a lot of lies said in that, right? Because let's keep it real. It's very interesting that now this conversation is being had, and I'm seeing a lot of white males, right, particularly, you know, that are part of MAGA. They're very upset, and they're saying, like, you know, he's disrespecting the culture. But it's interesting how when it comes to talking about culture, if you're talking about Black folks and things that they're doing that, you know, look bad for the American culture, it's okay to point those out. You know, you get what I'm saying? It's like he's pointing a mirror back at America and people are upset. But these are not new conversations. A lot of times, though, when these conversations are had, it's towards minority groups. So as long as you're saying that minorities are being lazy and, you know, they'd rather be on baby mama culture and, you know, single family homes, it's like that conversation is always okay. But the second you had this Indian man speaking about, you know, overall American culture, it's an issue. I just find that very, very interesting because I don't think there's a lie. I mean, let's keep it real. Like, who goes viral? I mean, we can just take on social media. Like, the things that go viral on social media tell you how mediocre things have gotten in America. When you got the Haktua girl going viral, she literally should have been a catchphrase and everybody should have moved on the following week. And people turned that into a thing. She was given a podcast, you know, all these opportunities. Yet you have people who have master's degrees who will never receive that type of blessing. So he's not lying when he says that, you know, mediocre shit gets pushed. I mean, somebody said Mr. Beast. He has some like the most subscribers on YouTube. But he just puts out, you know, mediocre content. I mean, granted, he has the explosions and, you know, all that stuff. But it's not anything that feeds you. It's not anything that educates you. Those type of channels that are talking about geopolitics and economics and, you know, building credit, they don't have 100, 200, 300 million followers. They don't. So I think, you know, at the end of the day, he was saying some truths in there. And I think a lot of people don't want to face those truths because of who those truths were, you know, basically aimed at. Now, I do agree that with the HB visas, that a lot of that is exploiting some of these people, right? Because they're coming in on these visa programs and they know that they can pay them a lot less than American workers. That's why they do that. And my thing is, why are people acting like this is something new with, you know, with Silicon Valley? Call a 1-800 number right now and let's see if you can get an American person on the phone. Just regular customer service. Call Chase, call, you know, your credit card company, call the cable company, and let's see how many times you get an American to pick up the phone. So this isn't necessarily a tech issue. This is a corporate greed issue. Before there were ever engineering jobs and, you know, internet jobs and Silicon Valley jobs, I remember customer service jobs were for regular people. My first job was in customer service, taking phone calls, placing orders. All of those jobs got shipped overseas for less money years ago because they didn't want to pay us here in America $10, $15 an hour to take calls when they can send it over to India and, you know, other countries and pay them $5 an hour. So it's very interesting that they're trying to act like tech caused this. And like the average child wants to be an engineer and work in Silicon Valley. When you ask the average child, they all want to be influencers and TikTokers and they want to be Mr. Beast and Logan Paul because it looks easy. They want to be beauty influencers. They're not necessarily trying to go into tech. So the culture does need to change. Like we need to make, you know, we need to make certain things, we need to prioritize them, right? Like we need to say that it's okay to be smart. It's okay to, you know, to be into MacBooks over Mac makeup. You know, so until they start pushing that, I don't know what's going to change. I'm not saying that there's not people in the tech field now because you have a lot of layoffs in the tech field. And I'm sure a lot of people are looking for work. But they know that that's why they choose, first and foremost, to bring in the people with the visas. Because they know they can pay them a lower wage. At the end of the day, it boils down to corporate greed. That's really what it is, bottom line. And I think the problem is a lot of people right now on the right, they're getting a wake-up call and they're starting to see that a lot of these talking heads and these people that they supported, like Ben Shapiro, the Daily Wire, now Vivek, now Elon, they're starting to see like they're not really right ring. These people are money first. They're CEOs. So they don't relate to the average MAGA person who's working a 9 to 5 or who's struggling to get a job, who lives, you know, in low income housing or in the trailer park. They can't relate. They relate to money. So I think a lot of people are getting, you know, their wake-up call, unfortunately. So it's been interesting watching the whole back and forth. You know, I just sat there and sipped slow because I have no dog in this fight. It is what it is. The decisions have been made. But it's been very interesting to watch the back and forth. And, you know, it's been interesting to see how shocked he is at, like, a lot of the racist comments he's getting, the dragging that he's getting. You know, it's like he's seeing it now, too. That you're not really one of them. You can say certain words. You can talk articulately. You know, you can use big words and, you know, try and be a model minority. But when they're not feeling you, they're not feeling you. So, yes, it's been a lot going on Twitter. And then what's so funny, too, is that Elon Musk, you know, the bootleg Tony Starks, the bastion of free speech, has been blocking people, taking their gold buttons away, like, you know, I guess their little check marks, their blue check marks or gold check marks, taking that away, taking away their subscriptions, like they're like people who have been following, like I think Laura Loomer, the dude from Fresh and Fit, Myron. They basically silenced him as well. They took away his blue check mark, got rid of his subscriptions. So my thing is, it's very interesting that he claimed that Twitter is a platform for free speech. And that, you know, when Jack Dorsey and when the left were running Twitter, and they were silencing people. They definitely were silencing conservatives because I saw it play out. Like I said, I'm not on either side. The left, when they were running Twitter, they were definitely silencing people, banning people. If you didn't go with the woke agenda, you were definitely getting removed from Twitter. So my thing is, why now that people don't agree with Elon, he's doing the same thing that he accused Jack Dorsey of doing. The same thing that he said that he wouldn't do, he's doing. So it seems like as soon as you disagree with Elon or, you know, his policies, now he's waving around his peen, okay? And he's going around and basically, you know, removing check marks. He's like on a MAGA spree. Anybody who's talking bad about him, who's not agreeing with his visa policy, he is basically removing them from Twitter, silencing them, and even deleting some accounts. So, like I said, I'm here for all the tea, honey. They are going back and forth. It's very interesting. Somebody said President Elon. Let me see here. But yeah, I think, you know, at this point, people need to understand this, what I've been saying all year. It doesn't matter what side you're on. This whole right versus left, it's silly to me. Okay, this is my personal opinion. I speak for myself. That's why I don't choose nobody's side. It's not about left versus right. It's about rich versus poor. And when you guys understand that it's more about classism than anything, the racism stuff, that's just divisiveness. You know, the black versus white, gay versus straight, trans versus everybody, that's just a bunch of divisiveness. That's just to distract and you know, have little fires going. The real thing is classism. And I think people are finally waking up and seeing that. They're not like us. They're not like you. That's why they don't have your best interest at heart. Because if they did, think about it. They're saying that, you know, the Indians overseas, they make better workers because, you know, they were raised a certain way. Well, what about the Indians here in America? Like, is that not hypocritical? If you're willing to bring Indians from overseas to do these engineering jobs and to work in Silicon Valley, they have the same culture as the first generation Indians here in America. So why would you not be racing to hire them, at least? Well, because, you know, you have to pay them more. Because they live here in America, they know how the system works, and they're going to want a specific amount of pay. Whereas if it's somebody coming on this visa, you can pay them less and you can basically wave that visa over their head. The second they get out of line or they start feeling themselves, you know that you can not renew their visa and they'll get shipped back to India. So they're going to work long hours. They're going to work overtime. They're not going to get the same amount of benefits as if it was somebody here in America. So, again, it's about classism, in my personal opinion. But, you know, it's sexier to make it about racism and, you know, your sexual orientation. You know, that's the part that just keeps people divided. It's fun for them to play puppet master. And now that people, I think for a lot of people on the right, it woke a lot of people up with this whole CEO situation with Luigi Mangione. That woke up a lot of people on the right. When Ben Shapiro was trying to make it a left versus right issue, and you had a lot of people saying, look, I'm a staunch Republican, MAGA supporter, but my claims get denied, or my father died from cancer and they refused to cover his treatments. So I think a lot of people are waking up. I really do. And I think both sides, left and right, are waking up and they're seeing, you know, who's really in charge and what's really running this country. It's the corporations. It's the corporate greed. Let me see. Let me read some of these super chats. It's already 10 o'clock. Time is flying. We got over 4,000 people in here. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. I'm just popping in here for about an hour. That's it. Just wanted to come on here and wish everybody a happy new year. Talk about 2024. Let's see here. Chocolate Beauty 8 says, Happy New Year, Hope. You all have a year filled with love, health, and happiness. Amen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yana says, Vivek should talk about how his home country, who he's clearly loyal to, is filthy and has acid and has an acid throwing R-word culture towards their women. I mean, yeah, India definitely has their issues, you know what I'm saying? But I also think every culture, you know, every country has their own set of issues, you know? But at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that he said is not a lie. You know, unfortunately, a lot of mediocre stuff does get pushed. It is normalized. Think about even with TikTok. The Chinese TikTok is totally different from the American TikTok. Unless you're like in a certain echo chamber and you're looking for certain things on TikTok, if you just go onto the For You page, it is bullshit. It is people dancing, eating just random shit, mukbangs, just nonsense. But on the Chinese version of TikTok, it's science, mathematics, and their kids are only allowed to be on there for about 30 minutes or something like that. 30 minutes to an hour per day. Our kids sit on TikTok from morning till night scrolling. So there's definitely an agenda being pushed. There definitely is. It's sad, but it's true. Even now they're trying to, I think somebody was saying that they're trying to get rid of the Board of Education or something like that. Something with education. I saw that earlier. It's like, why are we messing with the educational system when we already have failing test scores, kids that are just being passed grade to the next grade to the next grade because the teachers don't want to bother with them. They just want to get them graduated and get them out to school and then let the prisons eventually deal with them. Schools are being underfunded. Schools are shutting down. Unless you live in an area where there's a decent tax bracket, the tax money is what funds a lot of these schools. So if you don't live in a certain area code, you're going to be in an underfunded school. So it's all by design. Okay, so it was the Department of Education. But yeah, India definitely has its his own, their own shared problems. I definitely agree. They do. Let me see here. Ebony W said 9.99 says, "Hey T, you're my favorite YouTuber. You always keep it real. Everyone, please pray for me. Mother passed Christmas morning. I have been going through it. Oh wow, it was my son's first Christmas too. I am so sorry to hear that, and my condolences to you. Definitely will keep you in prayer. That is just sad. That is so sad. I couldn't even imagine that on Christmas at that. So I'm really sorry to hear that, and I'm glad that you were able to join us today. And, hopefully this stream and everybody here get your mind off of that just for the time being. So thank you so much. Definitely send her some prayers. Let's see here. Water Bottle Blue says, "That's why T, the education department misuses taxpayer dollars for their own benefits." Yeah, I got to look more into the store. I just saw bits and pieces about them trying to remove it. They definitely need to restructure it. So, the educational system is definitely failing. And again, on top of them failing, you also have to look at it too. The parents are not doing what they need to do for their kids. Then you have the kids being distracted, behavioral issues out of control. So it's just like a really, really bad cycle, at this point in time. Let's see here. Marlon Hairston sent 20. Let me see. He says, "Even though I've been down and out about what's coming in 2025, I still have hope that things will get better and everyone comes out safe and unharmed." I definitely agree. Thank you so much, Marlon. I appreciate you popping in. Yeah, I think, at the end of the day, what's going to happen is going to happen. All we can do is just prepare as best as we can, what I'm saying, and try and stay informed as best as we can. But, you can't live in fear. You can't just live in continual fear. People are like, I don't go anywhere. I just sit in the house. Absolutely not. I'm going to get out. I'm going to leave. You don't want to just become a hermit. That's what they want you to do. They want you to live in fear and not mix and mingle and not be around other people. You have to be around other people. You need to socialize. You need to get out the house. So you can't live in fear your whole life, because whatever is meant to happen is going to happen. Let's see here. Fat Rabbit Killer sent $4.99. Says, "For 3 years, my brother couldn't find a tech job to save his life. Switched ethnicity to South Asian on the application. Instantly, a flood of interviews. Wow, that's crazy. But I believe it. And it's sad. Because I know it took me a good 2 years before I landed my first tech job. And I really only got that job because one of my friends, who's white, he landed the job. And then he was able to get me in. He put a referral in for me. And that's how I got in. But yeah, it is very hard. So, I definitely get people's frustrations. Like, you go to school, or you go get certified, and then you go and apply, and you hear nothing back. But that's, like you said, that's because they're looking for South Asians and Indians and stuff like that to fill the position, especially if they have these visas. So, yeah. And I think, too, another thing that caused the conflict between Elon, Vivek, and, the MAGA folks is that they were all cool when it came to the Mexicans and the illegal immigrants from the southern border. They were all on par with that. And I think MAGA thought because Vivek and Elon were on par with that they would also be against all types of immigration. And they're finding out, no. At the end of the day, their loyalty is towards capitalism. So they may not like the immigrants at the southern border, but they definitely have no issues with the immigrants coming in from India with the visas. Let's see here. Troy on the Beat says, "Thank you for speaking the truth. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for coming through tonight." AG sent $49.99. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. She says, love you, T. Just wanted to bless you for the last live of 2024. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for doing an excellent job as a mod, because you're always in the chat. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Water Bottle Blues, he gifted 5 YouTube memberships. So if you want to join the membership, he gifted 5 people. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Imani sent $4.99, says, Happy New Year's, Happy Independence Day to my Haitians. It's currently raining and thundering in Connecticut, almost 50 degrees in January. Very weird. Can we talk about the weather real quick? Because it is weird. Like, even right now in Minnesota, like, it's been between 40, 45 degrees, like in the 40s. This is totally not normal. Usually around this time, we're like 0 below, -2, -3. And it just seems like every winter it's gotten warmer and warmer. Even last year when I threw my New Year's party, it really wasn't that cold during New Year's last year either. So it's a lot of stuff going on right now, especially with the weather. Somebody told me it was 60 degrees in Colorado. I'm like, that's insane. Let's see here. Miss Melson 5 says, Happy New Year, T. Thanks for going live. I was diagnosed with a condition causing me a lot of pain, but you're helping me through it. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you so much for coming through, and I'm glad that this stream is helping you. So thank you. Hoth and McGee sent 20, says, I haven't caught a live in a minute. Happy New Year's, T. I hope 2025 brings a fully clothed Joe Budden. I heard about that today, that he got caught sleepwalking naked outside. Child, I wonder how he's going to spin this on his podcast. That's going to be interesting. I sure heard about that. Thank you for the super chat too, by the way. Let's see. Dexter Davis says, Happy New Year, T. May your new year be filled with peace, happiness, and prosperity. Thank you so much, Dexter. I appreciate you. And it was so nice meeting you at the Millie party. I'm glad you got a chance to come and hang out with me. Let's see here. Oh my God, Moneybag Mo's in the building. I didn't even see her. Thank you, Miss Moneybag Mo. She sent $499.99. Happy New Year to you, Miss Mo. I appreciate you for just supporting my channel this entire year. It means a lot to me, and I hope that we eventually get to meet one day. I really do. So thank you so much. That is awesome. I really appreciate y'all. Let's see here. Iris Brown sent 5, says, thanks. Education starts at the home. You can't simply blame the Department of Education. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. It starts with everybody. You know, it's like they say, it takes a village. You know, it starts with the parents. The kids have to get right. You can't put all the stress solely on the teachers, you know, but there's definitely a lot going on with Gen Alpha. You have a lot of these teachers on TikTok talking about it. You know how a lot of these kids in Gen Alpha, they're iPad kids. That's all they've known. They don't even know how to write with a pencil. Some of them don't even know their first name. They're used to going by their screen names and nicknames. They can't write their names. So a lot of that starts at home. You know, when we were growing up, by the time you started kindergarten, you're supposed to know your first, last name, know how to write, know your ABCs, address, phone number. And now half these kids, they don't even know their first and last name. So, yeah, it's really disturbing. Chosen says, T, are you bringing in 2025 alone? No, I'm getting ready to leave. I just wanted to come on here for about an hour and chop it up with y'all. But no, I'm gonna step out. We still got about 2 hours here, so I'm gonna get ready to head out in just a second here. But it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, 2024, it was a lot of stuff that went on. But I think overall, it was a decent year for most people. I think it was a decent year. 2020 was just horrible. I still got PTSD from 2020. I hated 2020. 2021 was no better. I think 2024 was a little bit better. A lot of stuff happened, but I think for me, I enjoyed it because people just became more aware. You know, people became less disinterested in just nonsense. People wanted more information. I can even tell with my channel. It's like people really switched it up. Like they're like, you know, the celebrity news is cool, but we really enjoy when you give us real news topics and real topics that affect us day to day. And I'm like, as long as y'all are watching it, I will create it. I'm not going to waste my time creating content and writing stuff out and, you know, filming it if nobody watches it. So the fact that you guys are actually now watching the content and engaging with it, that makes me want to do more of that content. So I really appreciate that. Because before, when I would talk about this stuff like AI, nobody would watch it. So it's like, what the hell am I going to sit here and spend, you know, hours editing this only to get 10,000 views? You know, but now that people are seeing that everything I've been saying about AI, automation, you know, taking jobs, now people are really tuning in. So I really appreciate that. So I can tell even on my channel, there's a shift in consciousness. And I love that. Because at this point, them celebrities are not going to save y'all. They're worried about their own bag. So, you know, you got to get everything figured out. You got to get prepared. You know, like somebody said in the chat, knowledge is power. And you got to understand the things that are going on around you. They're going to be straight. They got their money. They got their bunkers. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. You got to figure out what's coming down the pipeline and how you're going to be prepared. Because I think with 2025, it's going to be a lot of stuff. Especially once Trump gets into office. Child, it's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be very, very interesting. For real. Somebody said we'll get worse before it gets better. Yeah, it's gonna be a interesting road. Let's see here. Michelle Tyus and 499 says Happy New Year's T. Shout out from the south side of Minneapolis, born and raised. I know that's right. Let me go ahead. Minneapolis. You know, I got to represent my city, honey, okay? Shout out to the Vikings. We are out here. We're doing our thing, okay? The Vikings is doing good this year. I was really happy that they beat Green Bay. That game got really close at the end. So shout out to you. Shout out to the south side. I appreciate my hometown coming through, supporting. So thank you, sis. Let's see here. Dig sent $4.99 says, Hey, T, I've been watching you for a while. I want to know your opinion on live stream of the Pope opening the 6 portals on Christmas Eve. I went and I watched that earlier today on TikTok. You know, I don't know why they're opening it. They're saying that they do it every 25 years. And people are saying because he opened the portal, it let out all this, you know, weird fog that we're experiencing. You know, I don't know about all that, but I don't trust the Pope anyways. And when you think about it, they're saying that those tombs are only opened every 25 years. Well, how did y'all get that view of him? There was multiple camera angles. They have a view of him coming in towards the tomb. A view from the back, views from the side. So somebody had to open it to get in there to get the shot. The world is a stage. That's all I'm going to say. The world is a stage. So I'm like, y'all ain't opened this in 25 years? He's now opened it, but there's a camera to film the moment. Okay, all right, sir. Enough of you. I don't trust none of them. I don't trust none of them. Yeah, I just feel like, you know, at this point, the Vatican to me has always just been creepy. You know what I'm saying? And the fact it's like they keep trying to play God and open up portals and, you know, it's a lot. But I mean, I also feel like there's already portals that are open, you know, like in Antarctica and stuff like that. Like if you ever do like a deep dive into like what's in Antarctica, I feel like there's portals down there. But yeah, I saw the videos on TikTok. Let's see here. Oh, okay, Dexter. He gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Alexis sent $2, says you look very pretty this New Year's Eve, the hair and the lips. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. So y'all, it's 10:30. I said I was just gonna come on here for an hour. So I'm gonna get ready to go ahead and leave up out of here. But I just want to wish everybody a happy New Year. Y'all just stay safe, stay prayed up. It's gonna be a lot coming down the pipeline, but I'm gonna stay on top of everything and just report stuff to the best of my abilities. But I definitely want to hit on the Amazon topic, and I'll try and get a video on that sometime this week on a lot of these sites that were basically popularized by the regular man and woman. And now that they've made their billions of dollars, they're basically turning on people. And that goes for Amazon, Etsy, Thumbtack. I'm going to address all those sites. So definitely stay tuned for those videos. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get up out of here. I will talk to you guys soon. Everybody have a good evening. Bye, everyone.